r/AskReddit by Redmond ETS. What is the oddest thing you thought was okay or normal, and ended up being a medical problem? A random sharp pain above my right ear and my tongue curling slightly. I thought it was just old age. Doc recognized it instantly as something wrong with my tongue. The cancer has been cured for 7 years. Until I was 16 I thought everyone got stomach cramps a few times a day. Turns out I'm lactose intolerant. Not me, but one of my brother's friends in high school. This friend was a goober. Always making silly but friendly jokes that make families laugh as a whole. All in all a genuinely funny person. One day he took my sister's glasses and was acting like her, only to pause for a moment and then say, "Wait, is this how things are supposed to look?" My man needed glasses and found out from screwing around. I'm glad the universe leaned towards him in a positive way as far as that went. I thought I pulled a muscle playing with my dogs one day. 1 week later I finally go to the hospital because the pain is getting worse. Turns out I suffer from a genetic blood clotting condition and had a 2-foot log clot in my leg and multiple pulmonary embolisms on my lungs. Doctor was legit surprised I was alive. That pulled muscle was actually a collapsed lung. After days of hot baths, massages, trying to relax. Nothing helped. No wonder. It took my lungs collapsing at 17 years old before doctors realized I wasn't breathing in deeply enough to expand the bottom half of my lungs for basically my whole life. They asked why I never complained about shortness of breath. I never knew breathing was supposed to be easier than what I was experiencing. As a kid I had anxiety and my heart would race fast. It felt like a hummingbird in my chest and would abruptly pause and resume a normal pace after a few minutes. At age 23 I had a bad reaction to a tricyclic antidepressant called imipramine and was rushed to the hospital. They ran an EKG and that rapid heart rate was a congenital defect known as Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome. Basically I had an accessory or second electrical system in my heart that would cause a short circuit occasionally and my heart rate would skyrocket. It was cured via a procedure using radio waves to form scar tissue around the accessory node because the impulse could not conduct through the tissue. No problems since. I thought I was constipated for a few days. Hurt like hell. Turned out to be diverticulitis and a perforated colon. My wife called the ER and they brought me in without trach and sent a chaplain. I lost a foot of my large intestines and almost died. I'd have these really minor facial twitches, like a single small muscle in my upper lip or eyebrow. Nothing even severe enough to be visible by others. However, they'd last for a few weeks straight, even while I was trying to sleep. I didn't think twice about it. They always went away on their own, after all. After I suddenly went blind in my left eye and got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, I connected the dots. Edit. Facial twitches are normal. Just because you have twitches often doesn't mean you have a problem, especially if you don't have any other reason to believe you have multiple sclerosis or any other disease. My twitches were constant for weeks. And even then, there are other, less serious, and probably more likely, things that can cause that. Please don't let my comments stress you out. My family told me I would randomly space out, although I never remembered. All thought it was normal. Turned out, I was having absence seizures. We only found that out at a routine doctor's appointment, just conversing with the doc, when I guess I just came to and the doctor said she wanted to get a bunch of tests done. Been an epileptic for almost 17 years now. Edit. I woke up to all these upvotes and replies and was shocked, TBH, to see how many of my Reddit fam has or had what I have. Unfortunately, my epilepsy has evolved into tonic-clonic seizures. I rarely have absences anymore, but had one focal back in November. For anyone who has friends and or family who has seizures and epilepsy, thank you for being there for them. Just know, we appreciate you all. For all that have seizures and epilepsy, unite. Love you all Reddit fam, you're the best. Depression. Apparently losing all hope and being numb to joy isn't just a part of growing up. Not sleeping or eating for days. but still feeling great and having more energy than your average athlete. Turns out you're bipolar. Was always told periods are painful. Example, cramps. So for years I thought my incredibly debilitating period pain was me being a little bitch about it. Turns out I have both PCOS and endometriosis, and of course, fertility issues. I thought I had bad period cramps, then I thought I had acute food poisoning. Turns out I had ovarian torsion and my ovary was slowly dying over the course of a few days. Losing weight suddenly got a little easier, and I assumed it was due to my efforts. Happy with my success, I buckled down harder. Funny how it's easy to keep being good when you're actually seeing results. I lost more. It actually got to be almost easy. I thought I was doing such a great job. Turns out it was cancer. I guess I should have known something was up, but I honestly thought I was just doing a really great job with my diet and exercise. Had 4 surgeries and treatment and I'm doing well. Now I'm on meds with all kinds of side effects, including weight gain. Yay. But I'm alive, and so much better off than many others. I've only gained a little bit back, despite working really hard not to. You know how you get all congested after exercising, and wheeze for a bit before everything settles down again? No? Yeah, that's because most people don't have exercise-induced asthma. I was in my 30s before I knew that was a problem and not normal. Suddenly getting dizzy, heart racing, hearing fading out, eventually throwing up and passing out if I go too long without food. Didn't learn till my mid-20s that not everyone had piles of snacks everywhere they went so they didn't end up on the floor. I've been tested for diabetes 5 times and it's not that, so who knows. Just can't get too hungry or I'm screwed, I guess. Inattentive ADHD. Got diagnosed at 54 and my life all suddenly made sense. It was like riding a bike with a flat tire and wondering why pedaling appeared to be so much easier for everyone else. Being told I'm sometimes too lazy or a dreamer, etc. Then learning at age 54 the existence of tire pumps and being able to keep up. Game changer. Still annoys me that all along, this medication was available and could have helped decades ago. Apparently your belly button isn't supposed to hurt. It was an umbilical hernia. Was declining in strange ways at work. Thought it was my 30s catching up to me. Nope. Heart went to 10% output and had a heart attack at 33. I always thought everyone's feet hurt when they walked after a few minutes. Turns out I have completely flat feet. My husband figured this out when I was in my 20s. I couldn't believe some people poop every day. That's ridiculous. I just found out I had almost no sense of smell for most of my life. I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, started taking the necessary medication, and suddenly it's a whole new world of sense across distances that I didn't know was possible. Chest pains while running. I thought I was just out of shape. Turns out I have an irregular heartbeat. Sharp, excruciating pain in my hand. Thought it was arthritis, it runs in the family. Nope. Bone tumor, thankfully non-malignant, slowly eating its way through my hand. 2 surgeries. One to remove the tumor, one to get bone graft from my femur, done at once. Some cadaver bone, lots of excruciating physical therapy and a gnarly scar later. No more pain. That I didn't get my period until I was 16, and that it was never normal. Then when I decided to stop birth control at 23, I didn't get a period at all. Turned out to be PCOS. Made sense as to why I also had a bunch of skin tags, insulin resistance, and couldn't lose weight to save my life. I thought I just wasn't motivated or too lazy. Like no, I was doing heavy cardio and it was making my body go into fight or flight mode constantly. As to why I didn't lose anything. The struggle is real. Serious joint injuries. Everyone has aches and pains, but it turns out you're not supposed to have 2 significant spinal injuries before 32 plus shoulder tendonitis. My brother has the same shit happening. Hypermobility spectrum disorder is definitely hereditary. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening. Tell your friends about me.